Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Gururo, guys. Today we're going to talk about, is Canada worthy destination for Indian students? Our table of contents will be presence of top institutions, the education system in India versus education system of Canada, career growth opportunities, academic environment, support for international students, and at the end of the day, conclusion of this topic. Canada has always been a standout destination for international students, particularly Indian students. One of the primary reasons is its high quality education. It provides low cost and the countryside is safe, secure and friendly. The living standards are very high and the people are diverse and country provides abundance of opportunities. Nearly 500,000 international students choose Canada as their study destination annually. The country treats immigrants as if they were their own, providing them with the same rights as the Canadians. Respect for human rights, equality, and stable and peaceful society defines Canadians. Let's talk about presence of top institutions. In terms of academic performance and graduate employability, Canadian universities have a long history and reputation. Many Canadian institutions compete with world-renowned universities. The Canadian government places a high value on education, invests the most in education in the world to ensure that students receive the best education possible. Universities and colleges in Canada has resulted in intriguing theories and notable discoveries. Canadian universities and colleges have world-class facilities, sports, extracurricular activities and cultural programs. The students enjoy their stay so much that they decide to make it their permanent residency. Canada is a melting pot for different ethnicities, races, cultures and in linguistic origins. In fact, most of the population does not speak English as their first language because Canada has high rates of immigration. It is home to the most diverse population. You will be surrounded by large multicultural environment both in and out of the classroom. With over 120,000 students each year, allowing you to easily adapt and make friends. Now let's talk about the education system of India versus Canada. Canadian versus Indian education system. Pre-primary, primary, secondary and higher secondary education are all available in India. After 12th grade, students can immediately enroll in the professional course of their choice, resulting in shorter period of study to become professional. Uniforms are highly valued and strictly enforced in all the Indian schools. The Canadian system of education in Canada is generally divided into primary, secondary education and post-secondary education. These three levels combined with sometimes referred to as K-12, kindergarten through 12th grade. After the 12th grade, students can apply to their university based on their interests. Now let's talk about the tests. Even lower classes in India have formal exams, putting pressure on from young age to perform well. Parents are stressed as well as they cancel all of their activities and focus solely on creating the study environment for their children. Most exams assess your ability to memorize rather than the ability to think creatively and critically. The emphasis in Indian system is basically on memorization. Students focus on soaking up as much as information as possible. In general, personality development and social skills. As a result, Indian students perform poorly in soft subjects and critically independent thinking. In general, personality development and social skills are generally ignored in schools and our grade is determined by how well we perform in our examinations in midterm or in final examinations. Each province in Canada has its own set of standardized examination rules. However, the Canadian system, like the US system, allows creative children to excel in exams and a regular part of curriculum so that students do not have to prepare ahead of their time. Although this changes as students progress in higher levels of classes where they must prepare ahead of time. It is not as stressful. The Canadian system emphasizes soft skills and developing more rounded competitors with a broader range of knowledge. Assignments, quizzes, daily homework also do not carry much weight in terms of final grades, unlike in Canada. Now let's talk about grading. In India, only the 12th grade is considered for taking admissions in the college, as opposed to the continuous and comprehensive evaluation from 9th to 12th standard in United States. As a result, there are less pressure to maintain grades throughout the 4 years. The majority of the grades are A+, A, B+, B, C+, C, D and F. Canada does not have a standardized grading system. Instead, it varies by province. It varies depending on where you live, the university you attend, and the type of education you are pursuing. Much of what the US follows is followed in grading scales. It can range up to 4 to 9 grading scale. Some universities often use alphabetical grades, numerical scores, and percentage that vary region or the university. The grades will be A minus, B minus, C minus, D, minus, F, based on their percentage obtained. Teachers give out tests, grade, quizzes, and performances and then convert them into the scale of 100. Syllabus and textbooks. Canada does not have a national curriculum but it depends on each province. Curriculum developers, parents, teachers, and other stakeholders contribute to cynical revision of the curriculum. At all grades levels, the curriculum is designed to support disciplinary and interdisciplinary learning while also allowing them for a variety of learning environments. Job is well organized and streamlined. The emphasis is largely on engaging and entertaining creative learning activities and projects for kids. By teaching youngsters how to learn, they prepare them for the future. Indian schools require more students to carry more books than American schools. Even the lower levels must carry a large number of textbooks and books each day to the school. The education system is more rigid and more
let's talk about Gururo's higher education courses.
Gururo is a one-stop destination to transform your career through higher education and executive programs. Gururo provides top undergraduate and post-graduation courses at fractional cost. So, if you want to advance in your career, consider booking a free consultation at the link in the description. If you're looking for top bachelor's and master's degree at fractional costs, check out www.gururo.com. We have courses from top universities and trainers who have 15 years of minimum experience in this industry. Career and growth opportunities. Canada is one of the most wonderful places to work. The country offers exciting career opportunities, high quality education, and good quality of healthcare systems for all ages. Canada has slowly become a hotspot for international students, especially Indian students. Every year, hundreds of Indians flock towards the Canadian borders for either studies or just for a vacation. The welcoming and warm attitude of the natives attract and makes it an ideal place for students to learn and grow. The government invests a lot of sum towards education. Canada has strong research and development community, including national research programs. Canada has a strong research and development community, including national research programs. Every year, the community attracts thousands and retains the world's most promising and accomplished minds. One of the most exciting things about Canada is that it values entrepreneurs. If you have a business idea that is groundbreaking and will impact the globe, you will be able to bag investors and ventures and get appropriate fundings from there. Job searching is always difficult, but it's especially difficult and frustrating for international students. Employees frequently express reluctance to hire international students. Employers may be unaware of cultural differences and visa requirements, making it difficult for international students to find out work. It is your responsibility to provide this information to potential employers. The job market in Canada is likely to be vastly different from that of your home country, and you should do everything you can do to learn about it. However, unlike in the United States, companies here welcome diversity, making it much easier to get hired if you have a strong skill set. Jobs and opportunities are bound to be varied. You will be able to easily settle and work in a firm of your liking. Now let's talk about the academic environment. The education environment in Canada is diverse and multicultural. Students can choose between English and French or both. Even the teachers and instructors are welcoming and encouraging. This country is known for their diversity and inclusiveness. These characters can be noticeable in classrooms. People of all backgrounds, religions and beliefs, sexual orientations and abilities are welcome in Canada. Counseling and career services are available at all levels of Canadian universities and schools to help guide important decisions and set students on the right path to success. Colleges and universities across Canada are committed to providing students and teachers with safe places to study and work. The hallmark of Canadian education system are safety and security and respect. Academic freedom, excellence and innovation are valued in Canadian classrooms. The standards of education in Canada are high at all levels. You will be encouraged to conduct original research and share your ideas on important issues in your field of study as a student in Canada. You will be able to work with other students, teachers, instructors and professionals in a collaborative manner and environment. All of this will provide you with limitless opportunities for personal and professional development. Throughout the years, events and festivals and other activities are held on the Canadian campuses. This helps you to network and meet new people, also creating a happy and lively environment for all of the students. Let's talk about support for international students. For international students, Canada is a popular study abroad destination. It can, however, be an expensive destination. Even though it is less expensive than the most countries, if you ever feel financially challenged, the government has implemented several options that students can use while studying. One of them is Canadian Post-Graduation Work Permit Program, which allows students to stay and work in the country up to 3 years after graduation. You can also get international work experience and later apply for permanent residency. Canada, as a top destination for international students, has a growing number of students because the country has transparent and visible and accessible visa application process. When you have been accepted to a Canadian university, you can begin the application process for a student visa. Canada allows all international students to work up to 20 hours per week during their semesters and full-time during the summer and winter breaks due to the special regulations. You would not need an additional work permit to work on campuses as an intern in any company because the study permit is sufficient to help on to get in a part-time job. Now let's talk about the conclusion of this topic. Is Canada a good option for all the international students? Yes, Canada is most certainly is. Even though living expenses are higher than India, they are lower than all the other developed countries, such as United States, United Kingdom. However, it will be a very good investment because the country is known for quality education system, low tuition fees and welcoming environment for students from all the backgrounds, for students to thrive. It also offers you excellent job opportunities and prospects because the exposure, resource and overall value of research and development. Most professionals and postgraduates choose Canada as their work destination. The Canadian government has spent millions of dollars on education, attracting billions of international students each year. This is not the only position in the country. This not only positions the country as one of the best places for education, but also contributes to overall growth and prosperity of the country. Companies and multinational corporations are very open to diversity. As a result, everyone is on equal playing field, and the only way to advance through is your skill set and knowledge you possess. As a result, Canada is one of the best countries for international students, particularly for all the Indian students. Thank you very much guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please do hit the like and the subscribe button for more and more educational content like this. See you in the next video. Thank you.